everybody and welcome to another Amphlett Reviews, and today we're doing another Hong Kong content review for something a little different this time. We're going to be talking about a Jackie Chan film, which I haven't done a Jackie Chan review on this channel for quite some time, which that is about to change over the next couple of months. I'm definitely going to do a lot more Jackie Chan content based on some of the ones I've got in my collection and some of the upcoming ones released from like Police Story and Dragons Forever and that kind of stuff. But today we're talking about Gorgeous. This is from the Hong Kong release, I think Fortune Star release. And this is a really nice edition, just nice and simple, kind of, region free. It is a region free release. It is compatible region A, 1, B and C. Nice simple edition, nothing too fancy. Just got a trailer included, but the transfer in it is absolutely fantastic, and mainly important, it has got the full 2-hour Hong Kong cut compared to the US version, which cuts about 20, maybe 25 minutes of the overall feature. Gorgeous is something I've had in my collection for quite some time. I've finally got around to checking it out, and I figured I'll just do a kind of nice, quick, easy review and talk about my thoughts and opinions on this film. So let's check out Gorgeous.
陳子午是一個傳奇人物，其實
Mr. Chen.
Gorgeous released in 1999 from the same director of Vincent Kok. Oh yeah, fantastic choice, fantastic director to do a kind of love story, Jackie Chan kind of filled, romantic filled kind of comedy. From the same production company, a lot of the same people behind the Stephen Chow movies, which also is in the film as well, within the Hong Kong, but for a lot of the same people, a lot of the same kind of production company, and it makes sense they would do a kind of, nice, fluffy, easy kind of, romantic comedy. And of course, Gorgeous has an amazing cast, also our talent. Jackie Chan as our main leading character, as our playboy, as our kind of stockbroker, kick-ass extraordinaire kind of thing, main action star. Not really an action star in this one. We have Shu-Chi, who's also really famous from the Transporter series, or mainly the first one. She's done a couple of kind of Hong Kong movies along the way. She's really known for the Assassin, which I haven't got around to checking out just yet, but really fantastic, gorgeous actress, really kind of sparks the life in the film, really kind of gives that kind of passion, that energy, and really the right choice for this film in terms of a kind of infectious kind of like, energy and gorgeous smile and that kind of stuff. We have Tony Leung in the film, also made massively from the Shang-Chi movie, and also lots of other kind of, Wong Kar-wai movies. Just a really amazing, brilliant actor who is playing the kind of gay kind of roommate kind of thing, who is just there to kind of assist and help and kind of, appropriately well handled, and just a really well done character, and just really funny to kind of add to the part of this fantastic cast. We also have sort of semi-villain kind of character, but not really. We have our fighter in the film, Bradley James Allen, who is our kind of our recurring kind of fighter within the kind of late 90s kind of Jackie Chan films. He's also appeared in quite a few movies during kind of, the Miramax kind of deals and that kind of sense, and Accidental Spy and The Medallion, all that kind of stuff. So he's popped up quite a few times and been a nice competitor back and forth with kind of Jackie Chan for his films. Unfortunately, he has passed away. I think he passed away this year, I believe, which is quite tragic. He was quite young. He wasn't particularly that old either, so yeah, really sad, but his memory lives on these films. What is this film? What is the reception? This film is interesting because it's got a definitely mixed bag of reviews, and it's not well received. It's definitely not everyone's favourite. It's definitely very forgotten, and it's one of the reasons I want to check it out, because it actually had the full Hong Kong 2-hour cut available on Blu-ray, and it's one of those kind of like Jackie Chan films you tick off the list. I think a lot of the bad reception, I think a lot of the bad kind of reviews and kind of like the reputation of Gorgeous is very much reliant on the US edited version, which is about 1 hour and 40, compared to the Hong Kong version, which is about 2 hours and 5 minutes. I'll put a link in the description below about movie censorship, which shows the kind of the differences and what was taken out, what was kind of altered a little bit. And with the US versions, with Miramax especially, kind of thing, they would kind of change the music, they would get rid of all the character development and maybe some of the sillier scenes, and just kind of speed up the pacing a bit more, maybe get to some of the more crucial moments a bit more, or change the introduction a bit more kind of thing to some of the characters, and which I think is quite weird, and I don't always like the decision made. I don't think I've ever watched a Miramax version and thought, yeah, that's a better version of the film kind of thing. The Hong Kong version, the full intended version, and I think you get a sense of the jokes, you get a sense of the kind of the pacing, you get a sense of the characters more, and they definitely did the dirty for this film for sure, and didn't give it the kind of approach they deserved. And behind the scenes drama is also quite interesting as well, in terms of what they were allowed to do, what they weren't, and adding in kind of action sequences with a kind of a boxer to kind of spice the film up a little bit kind of thing, which I think is a good choice, because I think it adds a little bit something to the film a little bit. I think it adds some of Jackie Chan's character. You know, there's not many movies I've seen where Jackie Chan doesn't throw a punch very often in a movie, so I expect it in the film, but I think it works quite nicely. I think it does actually add something to the actual story. I think it's introduced quite well, considering it doesn't really happen until mostly the end of the second act into the more of the third act of the film. You get a couple of mini fight sequences with the yacht, and then you got kind of our main boxer who's just been hired from overseas to kind of just, challenge Jackie Chan's character. The overall story for this film is quite simple. It is a romantic comedy. It is a very fluffy, very kind of, got some CGI, it's got some very kind of, sappy kind of, lines kind of thing in the film. It's very much a love story through and through. You've got this young girl in her 20s who basically finds a bottle, and she basically wants to go to Hong Kong to find the person who put this message in the bottle saying I love you, and she's all about this romantic kind of, choice, and then she's got a choice between marrying this guy that she doesn't really like, or going seeking for this kind of, romantic kind of, guy out there in Hong Kong, and she comes across Tai Lung's character, which is kind of this kind of makeup artist, gay makeup artist who is very famous a little bit to some degree, and he's very much like, oh no, just get out of my apartment. She's constantly comes all over him, and just she just refuses to leave, and it's just kind of a funny little back and forth kind of little drama. But he takes pity on her and basically says, okay, fine, you can stay, I'll help you, and I'll help you find someone that you maybe want to stick around for a bit, maybe enjoy the sights, and we'll go from there. And Tai Lung's character is really fun, he's really great. Considering he's a gay character within a Hong Kong movie, and they don't do the typical stereotypes, they don't do the obvious jokes, they don't do the pointing of the fun nature of that type of character compared to a lot of, British movies or kind of Western-based movies. I was actually quite shocked, to be, if I'm being absolutely honest. His characters were treated with a lot of respect, and just a great little character, just a really fun little character, some nice little funny moments, which annoyingly all those best scenes of him are cut within the kind of US-based version, which is more annoying because I like those scenes. I think they're quite good, and I think they add something to not only his character, but also our kind of love interest character as well, which is this very kind of very bubbly, very fun of energy, a little bit naive to some degree, but just very gorgeous, very charming lady who's just determined to find love, is determined to find her romantic kind of, interest, and she's willing to go for the paces to kind of get it, and to kind of go for some hijinks a little bit with this kind of, missing gangster wife, which surprisingly doesn't come back into it really until, a certain portion of the film. But there's some nice kind of moments, and obviously these two characters meet up, Jackie Chan and our love interest, and they have some interesting back and forth exchanges, and that's where the film kind of plays on. Jackie Chan's character is this kind of business tycoon. He's someone who does about stockbroking, and he's a bit of a playboy. He's also a kind of a trainer as well. He does a bit of boxing and fighting and martial arts, and it's nice and fluffy. Most of the first hour of the film is a mixture of kind of where's the tone, where's the kind of chemistry back and forth. I'm not kind of feeling it, because I thought the first hour was a bit hit and miss in terms of where these kind of characters lie. It takes a bit of a while for things to get going, but I will take a bit of character development. I'll take a bit of a bit more of a long-winded, a bit more long stretched out kind of smaller moments to kind of build up the bigger moments later on, which definitely does work and pays off, because I definitely got more invested, definitely got more kind of charmed by the whole kind of the sequences and the scenarios these characters get up into. And I really love the small moments, like the restaurant sequence where he kind of hires out the entire restaurant for her. I think it's quite nice, and just her kind of chemistry back and forth definitely gets improved and gets better, and she really kind of helps him out, and it kind of challenges his character. But yeah, this is a very chill film. It's very nice. Even the kind of confrontations between the boxer is really goddamn nice as well in the film. It's kind of like, a mutual respect. There's a bit of cockiness a little bit. There's a few small lines I thought was quite good. But Bradley's character is great. He's really fun. He's just, definitely a good sport. He's definitely kind of matching the same level that Jackie Chan is doing, and they're really just going for these fight scenes. Nice kind of epic one takes kind of thing, and very minuscule cuts, but boxing, kind of brutal boxing moves, really high flying kicks, kind of kickboxing moves, which is quite insane how close contact those kind of hits almost do. Even the rival character that's hired this kind of fighter is a long-term kind of rival from secondary school, and they have a bit of a back and forth exchange throughout the entire film. But even by the end, he means well to him. He never wants to do any harm to him or kind of feel like he's defeated or anything. They're just both having a bit of casual, bit of back and forth fun, even though the threats are very kind of like, in a normal circumstance would be quite serious, but it's harmless. Hey, these goons, if you just give me an apology in 5 minutes, throw them overboard. It's just harmless. It's a harmless gesture, and even some of the more kind of, you know, crazier ones later on within the factory, it's just, again, just characters kind of understanding each other and getting a bit of resolution and just be nice. Everything's being nice, and all these characters get nice little arcs. Some of the supporting characters do, from the assistant to the kind of, even the weirdly kind of love interest, the kind of fiance that goes back to Hong Kong to try and find her. He gets a small mini arc, which a lot of his scenes were cut in the US-based version, which is a bit odd. But yeah, Gorgeous, there's not much I can say overall, I think. So yeah, that's my opinion on Gorgeous. It's just a nice, fun, romantic comedy with some nice, random kind of comedic moments, some nice kind of action-based scenes for your Jackie Chan kind of, you know, hardness there kind of thing, which is actually fun. Great sequences, nice all-star cast, which all bring very nice defined kind of characters in the screen, which nice and charming, funny, just, you know, it takes a while for the film to kind of pick up its pace a little bit, to kind of find its tone, and to kind of find out what the actual film wants to do. And maybe it's a film where they kind of want to find it in the edit, maybe, I'm not too sure, but it's a nice film for Jackie Chan, something a bit different, something a bit more laid back, and it's always great to see something like this within his kind of career and his kind of lineup, and I can definitely tell he wanted to do more kind of collaborations with kind of the US and Miramax kind of thing, and definitely go to different locations, and willing to give this another shot. If you're willing to check out the two-hour Hong Kong version, and if you want a nice little fun romantic comedy with your partner, or just want to see something a little different from Jackie, good time. It's really fun. It's a nice kind of cute, fun movie. A bit sappy, but it's very much a product of its time, and it's a lot of fun to watch. Also, one of the things I noticed I thought was quite odd was between Jackie Chan and Shushi, the main kind of love interest character, the film was building up this kind of, you know, epic kind of romantic kind of, you know, comedy back and forth, and, you know, will they get together by the end kind of thing, and they kind of do by the end of the film, of course, as you would for romantic comedy. But one of the things I found really weird about the film, and I pointed this out to my friend watching it, was they don't kiss in the film, and, you know, they get close at one point, but they never do it, and I thought it was a bit odd. Can anyone explain that? Can people comment down below? And any kind of, I've looked into this quite hard to find something to say why they didn't kiss in the film. Is it because of their backgrounds or something? Is it something they weren't allowed to do? Maybe she felt uncomfortable doing it. I'm not too sure what happened there, because the only time they do kiss in the actual film, at least the Hong Kong version, was in the outtake. Can anyone explain that? Please comment down below. I don't know if anyone else noticed that also in the film. In the meantime, after reviews, signing out.